On the table in front of me, I have the option to choose between any of these new 2020 iPhone 12 devices. And for some reason, every time my hand reaches out for the smallest iPhone out of the bunch, the iPhone 12 mini. There is something about this device that just grabs my attention. Something about this iPhone that screams, pick me, pick me. And every time I pick up this device, I realize that this is the iPhone for me. This is the iPhone that I can use as my daily driver and be perfectly content with. But there are some glaring issues that need to be addressed first before that can happen. So let's talk. I'm not going to waste anyone's time. If you clicked on this video, you are most likely interested in knowing 3 things. How is the battery life? Is the iPhone mini too small? And are you experiencing any overheating issues? So for the past 2 days, my SIM card has been in the iPhone 12 mini, and I've been using the mini in the wild without taking a charger along with me. Why is that, you may ask? Well, for one, I wanted to test out the iPhone mini and see exactly how much screen on time I was getting in a real world setting without having accessibility to a charger, because that's not always practical. If you follow me over on Twitter, I was keeping everyone up to date on how the mini was holding up throughout the day on a 4G network. And it did definitely exceed my expectations in terms of screen on time. I took it off the charger around 9 AM, and 2 hours and 16 minutes of screen on time later, I was sitting around 73%, which is rather decent screen on time if you ask me. Now, do keep in mind, I wasn't playing games or anything like that. I watched a 10-minute YouTube video, I was messaging on WhatsApp and Telegram, and just scrolling through social media, so nothing too battery intensive. Around 1 PM, I did go to the mall for some quick returns, and I took some shots on the mini, which turned out really nice. It's kind of crazy to think about, but a phone this size is packing a very good camera system. The mini does have a versatile setup with a wide and ultra wide angle camera, so I was able to get some really nice shots in of some early Christmas decor around the mall. You can see that the detail, the sharpness, and the dynamic range are all very accurate. So I was really impressed with the mini's cameras. But not so because of the camera itself, but more so the fact that we got cameras this good in a phone that is this compact and small as the mini. Right after my trip to the mall, I was sitting around 43% battery life with 4 hours and 15 minutes of screen on time, which did in fact exceed my expectations. I honestly thought I wouldn't be able to get more than 3.5 hours of screen on time with a full charge. So do color me impressed. But keep in mind though, this was on a 4G network. If you do use the mini on a 5G network, you will not be seeing more than 3 hours of screen on time. So if you want to use this phone as your daily driver, I would recommend turning off 5G altogether. I ended the day with 5 hours and 23 minutes of screen on time and 19% battery life remaining, which I think is good enough for most people. If you think about it, most users that upgrade to the mini are coming from either the iPhone 5, the iPhone SE, and maybe even the iPhone 7. So they are used to smaller phones, and typically they are not heavy users. 5.5 hours of screen on time is more than enough to get them through a full day. I mean, if you think about it, it's actually really funny. Back in the day, this would not be considered a small phone. In fact, this was a normal sized device back in say 2012. And back then, you would never hear me saying that 5.5 hours of screen on time is too little. It's solely due to the fact that technology has become a prominent staple in our lives. Our phones have become an extension of ourselves, and we become so connected and intertwined with our devices that we need our phones to last us pretty much the entire day, or we feel lost without it. So with the iPhone mini, I would say the battery is good enough for the average consumer. And for everyone else, we're just gonna have to wait. Wait for what exactly? Well, for MagSafe battery packs. I believe that these are coming, and they're either coming from Apple or a third party. But these magnetic battery packs could be a game changer for just iPhone battery life in general. The MagSafe battery pack attaches magnetically to the back of your iPhone, and it will give you enough juice to power your iPhone mini throughout the day. If you need more than one MagSafe battery pack, just swap it out with another and carry on with your day. So until some variant of this does come out, I won't be using the iPhone mini as my daily driver, but I will definitely be using it as a secondary device because I just love everything about it. A lot of you guys over on Twitter have been asking me, do I find the iPhone mini too small? And to be honest with you, no. I initially figured that it would take me some time to adjust to the smaller 5.4-inch panel, given that I was coming to this phone from a larger device. But that wasn't the case at all. In fact, as soon as I popped my SIM in, I was like, wow, this phone is fantastic. I find it so easy to text quickly with one hand, everything including the control panel is within reach, and it feels like a premium iPhone worth every single penny, which I never usually say about an iPhone. If you do consume a lot of media, the notch is more noticeable with this smaller phone. But if you can get past that, I would totally recommend the Mini over any iPhone this year. Just the way it feels in your hands, the flat edges combined with the black aluminum rails, and this whole minimal black color is just fantastic. I would recommend this phone to anyone. My mom recently got the iPhone 11 and I showed her my new iPhone mini and she was like, wow, I love the size of this phone. Can I have it? And I was like, but why? You have a bigger iPhone 11 with a bigger screen. And she was like, it's just so small and cute. I love it. And I do get it. It's a new iPhone. We've never had a 5.4-inch iPhone before, and people just find it new and exciting. Some of you have been asking me if I'm experiencing any overheating issues. I will say the phone does get rather hot when it's being charged using a MagSafe charger. But other than that, even while I'm gaming for a few hours, I haven't noticed anything rather unusual. So if you are undecided on the iPhone mini, I would highly recommend you do pull the trigger. It's the perfect sized iPhone if you do value convenience and portability. This has been my 48-hour review with the iPhone 12 mini. My full review will be dropping within a few weeks, so if you do want to stay tuned for that, do consider subscribing to the channel and turning on that bell notification icon for a lot of upcoming iPhone content. As always, thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you all in the next one, and don't forget to flex with your miniature tech.